rub it in here. But I also have a great topic I just want to announce for next week. I booked in my dad to go over the homeopathic activation panel. I've gotten a lot of questions. It was also on that list of everybody's amazing questions that I have printed out that I'm filling slots through the rest of the winter into the spring to cover some of these great topic ideas that you came up with at the beginning of the year. And so one of these is the homeopathic activation. And my dad's jumping on next week. We're going to spend some time going over how he uses that when people come in with a bushel full of products. We've all been there and we all have them ourselves. Someone brings in a bushel full of products. You can actually, and he brought this up today when I spoke with him. It's really not genius. It's just common sense. But that is an add-on service. And he's going to show you how he integrates that into a normal session so you can boost your session fees, because that's an additional service. That's not a session. That's actually taking specific products and correlating it with that. So that's how he incorporates it. He'll share more detail, and then he'll show you how to do it, and how you can actually create recommended dosages too on anything over, he said, 55% of a match there. And that's the homeopathic activation. So next week, we're going to have a lot more people on because it's going to be content driven. But right now, what I want to do is share my screen. So welcome, everybody. You can say hello. Jane said hello in the chat, but hello to all. This is going to be a short 30-minute. We're going to be done here about 1:30 at the very latest, unless people have questions. We're going to be done here so you can get on with your day. You can go and learn and share and hopefully book sessions and help people. So here we go. All right. I'm going to adjust the screen size here so you can see this document. And this document, everybody, I'm going to make available on the blog, whitedoveglobal.com/blog. You can access these archives. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Yvonne. Good morning from Oregon. Great to have you on. Always a pleasure. So this is a simple document waltzing through an EPFX session. Now, an EPFX, that's just another term for SKIO, right? That was another name, trade name for SKIO. But the principles here are, it's a cool little document that my dad passed along to me to share. And so I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to make sure we're able to I want to fit it without, I have a wide screen here. So hopefully you can all see that okay. That looks pretty good. There's my dad here. So here we go. Let's start things off. Welcome, everybody, to the Friday Focus. Let's start off by some good quotes. These are really popular quotes. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. That was a famous quote by a gentleman by the name of Jesus. And so that's some history built into that. And then another is, yet you do not have because you do not ask. So there you go. That kicks things off here. Now, my dad's biography has evolved from this, but to give you a little bit of background, my dad's been using the system and the remedies since 1990. And my father was fortunate to work with my father for 3 years, 1990 through 1992, in Denver, Colorado, as an apprentice to Professor Nelson, working on the first versions of the system, the technology, as well as the homeopathy. And my dad, this is actually an old system. He's seen, this document's maybe almost, 6, 7 years old. So these numbers, I think, are blurring. But he's been in business for a while helping people. And many of you know him. Many of you know the remedies. You know Patricia. You know Patty. You know the girls at the office. And they're a partner of mine. So I always go back and refer to them because I'm not saying they know the only way. There's many different ways to accomplish results with this technology and the practice and the workflow philosophy that this brings to the table. But I do know there's an objective fact that what they do actually helps people and it works. And that doesn't discredit anything else you may be doing or other people may be incorporating into their practices. It's just a way that works. And that's what we're here to share with you. So today, these are Bill Cunningham's clinical pearls and helpful hints. And this is a script actually that's going to walk you through how they, give or take, communicate and welcome people and work them through the session. So let's read this together and enjoy this little script of walking through a successful session. So good morning, Jake, or good morning, Mrs. or Mr. or Miss blank. And that's the client's name. Welcome to White Dove Healing Arts, or welcome to your clinic. I want you all to be able to use this for your own clinic too. And scripting out that process is really important, everybody. And then I'll get to guiding you through this. And I don't need to read it verbatim because that's somewhat boring. But I do want to take you through these steps. And the reason this is important is there may be some gems in here that you may be missing, or there may be things that you did at the beginning of your career that maybe you forgot. And it's a good reminder. So again, like I always say, an idea can be that little catalyst that transforms your future and how you proceed in your profession or in your personal life, and in particular, using this equipment. So good morning. Welcome to White Dove. Did you relax a little bit on your way through the countryside, enjoying the farms and ranches and horses? They have an office outside of the city, so people get to take a little cruise out there. Now, here to the right of the waiting room are the restroom and a very tasty filtered water. Please sit down and fill out this health history questionnaire and consent form. Any questions you may have, please ask. Please ask me. I'll be right next door preparing the biofeedback device for your session. So that first and second paragraph are just welcoming someone in, giving them a little orientation. Even if you have a home office, that's okay too, because you just have to make them feel comfortable, make them feel special, and give them a little orientation of where things are, even for your regular people, right? Also, Mr. or Mrs., please help yourself to any of our free handouts here in these racks. In my father's office, he has racks where there's information on biofeedback, some of the other products they have. Topics range from information on vaccinations, homeopathy, nutrition, and diet, and even the current technologies on cell phone radiation protection. They carry a couple products for the cell phone radiation. All right. Thank you for filling in the health history questions and signing the consent form. Please come this way. So what this step is that you welcoming, greeting them, having them complete that form, and then enter into the room, right? And they've read and signed the health questionnaire and the consent form. So now, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, blank, as you read in the consent form about my qualifications, allow me to assure you of my competence by briefly reviewing some of my certifications you see on these two walls. So this is building credibility. And this is almost for new people, right? People who know you already, you're going to cut to the chase a little bit, right? They're going to know the process. Still filling that consent form is important, right? Because that gives the date and time of their session, goes into their file, but that's important. But this, bear with me here. This is for some new people too. Primarily, I am a certified biofeedback therapist and instructor. I also hold an international license in biofeedback, and I'm also an international advanced certified trainer for the systems that you see here on my desk. Any questions before we proceed? Now, you can fill that with your own credentials, building rapport, reassuring that they're in the right place and they're in safe hands. Remember, the relationship between you and that individual is as important as any of your tools, if not the most important thing. I will now activate the computerized quantum biofeedback device. And while I do that, please take a seat here in this luxurious leather chair. I don't know if he says that. May I put the head, wrist, and ankle harnesses on you now? I will be putting the headband on a little bit looser than normal because for the 17 years I've done this work, I've noticed the head expands a bit as you relax, and I don't want it to get too tight. Okay? Little tidbit there. The wrist harnesses are put right here around the classical Chinese pulse points to detect any stress in the 12 organ system meridians. The ankle bands are doing the same, detecting stress in any of the source points that enter through the feet and come up the inside and outside of the ankles. Okay, very good question. Yes, the harness is made from carbon impregnated rubber. Since the body is carbon-based, this composition assists in creating a good handshake, or I like to say electrical handshake, with the biofeedback, in this case, the EPFX or your SCIO or your eductor. Are you comfortable now? The harness isn't too tight or too loose? Excellent. Let's proceed. The first thing you see on the screen is the icon of two hands clasping. Now it's the butterfly, okay? With the Eductor 64, which is the software for both the SCIO and the Eductor. This is you and the biofeedback, the EPFX. Next, you are assured that the SCIO is working. As I click continue, notice the butterflies. The innovator used this to refer to the system as the butterfly system. Get it? The freedom, flight, maturity, and of course, transformation. By the way, notice the percent bar moving from left to right. At the 55th percentile, the prayer wheel software is activated. However, you have a choice whether to use it or not during your session. Our innovator reviewed nearly 400 studies done around the world on the health benefits of prayer. He feels this can accelerate your ability to detect and manage your stress. Do you want to see the choices? See, the default button is on all, but you can choose any of those to suit your religious beliefs, okay? You said all, correct? Okay. Notice you can add your own prayers or disable the whole prayer program. All right. We now enter your full name at birth and the married name or even additional chosen names, such as a spiritual name, for instance. Again, our innovator has created the software to give hints about you from ancient medical astrology and numerology systems. Next, most importantly, I'm going to scroll up here. Next and most importantly is the SOC index questions. We need to get some hints about your health condition. For example, how stress has suppressed or obstructed your health. Plus, these questions point back to your past and your lifestyle choices that are either helping or hindering your health goals. Also, the info we give the system will influence the stress scores from the test we're about to run. Okay? Believe it or not, we can finish this in 5 minutes or less. If you will just give the system the first answer that comes to mind, not dwelling on the answer, okay? Our innovator feels that by answering these SOC index questions, it will gently stir up the unconscious mind, the whole brain, so you will give more accurate stress detection data during the test process of the EPFX or of your SCIO or of your Eductor. Nice. Now let's add a few details to your SOC report. Add more data to the report. I will assist you with any unclarity here, okay? Thank you. Now, the fun begins. Within the next couple of minutes, the system, I'm going to refer to EPFX as the system, and that system can be any of your systems. The system and you will do an energetic handshake, creating a cybernetic loop between you and the system. Ready? If you notice, everybody, he's cueing people through. So I know everyone has a different style, but if you can cue and keep them actively, let's say active and connected during the process without explaining how it's working, You're just explaining what's going on so that they feel involved, right? And there's a good saying, without involvement, there's no commitment. Without commitment, there's no involvement. So get them involved in the process. But there's an art form here. You don't over-explain everything, where you keep them integrated, connected, and involved, letting them know what you're doing next. And that really helps them if they even stay awake during it, right? Most people will go into that sedative state. Ready? So as you can see, the stress detection aspect is already working and has picked up a bit of geopathic stress called the Curry cross. Okay, he's talking about the calibration right now. Have you been traveling out of your time zone recently? Okay, thank you. Yet the device has assisted you in processing that stress. See? So that's where the Hartman cross and the geopathic stress corrections take place. All right. Well, excellent. It appears you've created a 96% interface handshake with the system and are ready for the stress test. Very simply, just be still but not stiff. No talking for the next 3.5 to 4 minutes. You may feel some slight tingling in your head, wrists, and ankles, but rest assured, our FDA-registered device has received the highest UL safety rating possible. You're safe. You can even get in the bathtub with it on and not be hurt, although we don't recommend that. I will now get up and leave you and the system to communicate with each other for a while. May I bring you some more water? Are you still comfortable? Good. Okay. See you in less than 4 minutes. So that is a little precursor to getting up and leaving and letting that person during the test connect. Excellent. You gave the system all it needs to focus on the main areas of stress and what you can do with the support of the biofeedback programs to enhance your wellness. I will explain some of the basic stress indicators known as the VAR-HOPE now. Okay, this is after the test. Any questions arising from my explanation? Okay, good. Let's proceed. This panel of programs is called the risk profile. So that's the VAR-HOPE. Okay, this isn't like a protocol, but this is like the language between the lines. That's what these little hints and tips are. And you're going to have a copy of this, everybody. I'll attach it to the replay, and you'll get it. I'll even attach it to the send out, so when you get the replay email, you'll have it. This panel of programs is called the risk profile. Let's explore the probable highest risk, stress risk. Gee, here are some simple lifestyle hints for you to use and some biofeedback programs the system suggests. Are you willing to make some of these lifestyle changes? Good. Thank you. Shall we activate some of the biofeedback programs? Good. Thank you. Okay, nice. You heard the innovator's voice say, excellent. Excellent. This means you are relaxing, reducing muscle tension, managing pain, and re-educating yourself on how to deal with stress. Okay, time out. That's an excellent, 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 excellent way to express what you do. This means getting people to relax. You reduce muscle tension. You help manage pain, re-educating the body on how to deal with stress. Okay? So put that in some of your terms and your messaging out there, and people get it. Okay, back on track. As you read in the consent form, I do have other degrees and certifications that allow me to make wellness-enhancing suggestions. Notice that the document above the chair. Yes, I'm certified as a homeotherapeutic consultant. I can recommend safe, legal, and effective formulas that have proven to be beneficial over the last 200 years worldwide. May I say this? If these were my stress scores, I would try a few of these FDA-sanctioned homeopathics to detoxify, rebuild, and boost my nutritional profiles. What do you think? So now, as we wind down our biofeedback session, you have obviously noticed visual and audio feedback, right? Thank you. Legally, biofeedback is defined as feeding back to the client physiological phenomena via audio and visual means. In this case, the EPFX's audio and visual channels are working with you feeding back stress detection and stress management indicators. Kind of neat, huh? To complete our session today, you have indicated to the system that these two specific programs, biofeedback programs, would be your favorite ways to assist you in handling your stress factors. Want to see what you've picked out? Okay, thank you. And that's on the therapy panel, everyone, the recommended therapies. By the way, these two programs have helped hundreds of thousands of clients over the last 2 decades, ever since our device was registered with the FDA in October of 1989. Your two choices are, boom, boom, whatever those may be. Auto Meridian Therapy, Auto Trivector, all those. And look at the visual and audio feedback scores you've achieved from these two programs. Wow, above the 95th percentile. Very good, great. And that is left, all that is left to do now, Mrs. or Mr., is to see the final rectification scores, okay? See, we're already at a high percentage in rectification. So let's put the icing on the cake with the final biofeedback program, okay? Good. Thank you. Excellent. A whopping 99 final rectification. Congrats. How are you feeling? Was that fun and informative? Good. Now, my experienced assistant, Patty, will go over the homeopathics you chose to try, and I will send home these 2 pages of printouts that show you before and after results of your quantum biofeedback session. A few final words of advice. Rest a bit more today and tonight. A nap right now upon returning home would be ideal. Drink plenty of liquids. Stay centered in love and peace, and call me if you have any questions or concerns. Patricia then says, the remedies you've chosen to use are FDA sanctioned, professional use only, natural pharmaceuticals that should be and can be tax deductible at tax time, or as we say here at White Dove, April Fool's Day coming up. And since biofeedback was deregulated by FDA since 1976, here are some insurance billing codes for biofeedback that your health insurance company may or might allow for reimbursement. I have my schedule book right here. Since Mr. Cunningham is very much in demand, and he is usually booked out 3 to 4 weeks, would you like to make your next biofeedback appointment now? Great. See you in 2 weeks, and call if we can be any assistance to you, your health enhancement quest. Bye-bye and God bless you. Okay, so that, everybody, was some of the language in a script that has some of the tidbits of let's call it edification, reminding them of who you are, your credentials. And it's really tricky in an art form. You want to boast yourself. You want to put yourself on a pedestal because you've earned it. And you should think of yourself and your role and your confidence in that position in a healthy form of authority, working with them as their coach, as their practitioner, as their trusted mentor. Now, there's also in this a consent form, okay, that I'll attach to this as well. So we're coming up on the 30 minutes. I want to honor that time, but this is something that you guys can use, or you can adapt if you're missing any of this language. Talks about, I'm not here for medical diagnosis, treatment, and so on, and they can sign it, and then some notes. So that's this document, everybody. I'm going to go back, and hopefully you guys got a little bit of information. Hi, Pat. See you on. So with that said, I'm going to upload that now, get this email out, and send out the replay after I get it posted to the blog. And on that note, next week, everybody, we have my dad on getting into the software, showing us how he integrates the homeopathic activation panel. That panel where at the end of a session, you can measure an individual reactivity to a supplement or a formula And when people come in with a bushel full of products and they're like, oh my, boom, and they land it on the desk, and they're taking every one of those. Some are good, some are not a good in terms of absorption. And because just because a product is a high quality and very, very effective product, it doesn't mean the individual resonates with it well, right? We all know that. We know that just from our own experience. There's certain lines or products that at certain times of the year or certain, let's call it chapters in our own well-being, we need more of, or we connect with better. They're better for us. And so measuring that reactivity through that, it's going to be fun to do. And then he'll get into having some open Q&A too next week. So with that said, everybody, any questions? I'll sit back for a couple minutes. If you have any questions, here's the time. Each week you can ask any question. I'll do my best to answer it. If not, I'll guide you to where you can find the answer. And we'll get it right at the 30 minutes here and go from there. You're welcome, Nancy. It's my pleasure. This is, again, it's called, this little doc, Waltzing Through a Biofeedback Session. So if you notice some of the tone, and do they say that verbatim? No, of course not. That's just a general template that allows you to be consistent, right? Expectations. What you're doing along those lines is setting expectations of what you're doing, and you're constantly asking how you're doing. Are you feeling okay? Does that make sense? And if you have any questions, I'm here for you. That makes people feel that they're being nurtured, right? They don't have to understand the scientific quantum physics behind the technology. It's actually not relevant to them at that time. What's relevant is the way you make them feel. That's the whole goal here. The way those people feel coming in. Now, your tools have to work. You have to be able to use them. And so show them that you've been trained. Where with a healthy pride, right? Where you're proud of yourself, not the ego pride of, where it's, one of the 7 deadly sin pride, but I'm talking about being proud and confident, courageous about the investment you've made, and have fun. If you notice through that, there's a lightheartedness about the dialogue, because you can get real serious with the system, right? I'm saying good morning again, Grins. Well, good morning. Good morning, Jane. And for those of you who do need some tech support, again, Jane Summers is available. She's a computer consultant. She's helped a lot of people with the updates and things of that nature. And I always want to support people who are supporting people. And that's all of you. I love to support people who support people, because guess what? We all need that support network. And it's just an honor to be able to show up and do this again with all of you. I'm not sharing my video right now because I have like a scruffy beard right now, and I'd rather be offline. So that's why I'm not online. I know many of you've seen me with my highs and lows, but I'm going to just be behind the scenes with a mock picture of me there. But it is fun to serve you guys. I'm going to say goodnight, or good morning, good afternoon, goodbye. But next week, we'll see you right here. Thanks for joining us. And I removed a couple of the email reminders. People were saying they're getting just blasted. So again, check your email. You're going to get an email the night before of the focus, but I'm not going to be sending text messages and things. I'm just going to honor your space a little bit. I don't want to be filling up your inbox. Okay. And that's just to respect your space a little bit, not be so aggressive there. with that said, everybody have a wonderful weekend. Next Tuesday on the Take Charge training, it's Valentine's Day. So we're going to have a special loving message there. And the Take Charge Tuesdays, everyone, is specifically about marketing your practice, personal and professional development, where Friday Focus is about our equipment and about protocols and this type of stuff. So just to give you that reminder again. Blessings to you all. Have a great one. Thanks, Jane. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.